Take 7. Hey guys, we are Nerd Humour and we are going to be talking about Suicide Squad today.
Yeah, very much the summer blockbuster. I could not have been more hyped for this. I'm a big fan of the comic book series, so I was very much looking forward to this film. But from someone who did not read the comics, what was it like for you?
Yeah, I went into the film with a lot of reservations, and I was thinking it's going to be just another one of those summer blockbusters that just flops. But you know what? I was duly surprised in a lot of good ways. A lot of good ways, but only a lot. We'll talk about that.
But going into the synopsis of the film, a government intelligence operative called Amanda Waller is putting together what she refers to as Task Force X, which is incarcerated supervillains to battle what she refers to as metahumans. In this universe, it would be
Superman. Flash.
Exactly that. She's worried that if the next Superman was to turn up at Earth, he would not hold the American ideal. He could be a terrorist. So they need to be able to battle these people. They call it bad versus evil. So that makes sense. And in that respect, the film was brilliant. I mean, the driving force of the film was the characters. The chemistry that these actors have in the squad was brilliant. Deadshot, Joker, and Harley are the main characters of the film. Will Smith playing Deadshot, I was a little bit reserved about. I wasn't sure if that was going to work because I've always thought Will Smith always plays Will Smith. He was brilliant as Deadshot. He wasn't evil, okay? He kept saying in the interviews, I'm the bad guy, I'm evil. He's not really.
No.
He really isn't. He is very much the anti-hero of the story. He did have a moment in the film where he really could have embraced the bad guy, the evil side, and he didn't. We will do a spoiler video where we'll talk about that. But for me, the driving force, the main focus of the film was Joker and Harley, played by Jared Leto and Margot Robbie. My God, the chemistry between these two, for a very little amount of time as well in the film that you actually see them together, was outstanding.
It was
he was
fantastic.
Absolutely brilliant. And a very different look at the relationship they have, because in the only other time we've seen these two is in the animated series, where he is violent, he's abusive, he's neglectful, he doesn't care for her whatsoever.
Yes.
Very much the opposite in this film. He does love her in this film. But of course, this film is called Suicide Squad. We have to focus on these characters as well.
Let's have a quick look at this guy down here. We have
Colonel Rick Flag, played by Joel Kinnaman, is given the task of looking after these superpowered freaks. He's a soldier, he doesn't want to do it, and I'm not saying Joel Kinnaman was bad, he just didn't really stand out for me in the film. He wasn't really...
he kind of acted like sort of the grumpy teen. They didn't want to babysit the kids.
Pretty much.
And that's kind of what it showed for. And it's a shame because this character could have evolved, but it didn't really evolve.
Yeah, he really could have.
Especially with the story that he was given.
Yeah.
Which we'll talk more about in the spoiler film.
Yeah, but into the actual squad, Captain Boomerang, played by Jai Courtney, I was very wary of, because Jai Courtney for me has never given a good performance. I've seen him in Terminator, Divergent, I mean, there's so many times he's given the chance to give a good performance and he didn't. So when I heard he was cast as Boomerang, I was like, please do not mess this up. Thank God he doesn't.
Yeah, they gave him the right script and they gave him the right tools.
Very much so. He plays Boomerang as an Australian scumbag, basically. And I really think the reason he gives a good performance in this is because he's met lots of people like this. I can imagine this guy has had a fight with many Boomerangs in Australia.
Yeah.
Very good.
I wouldn't be surprised.
Very, very good performance from him.
No, not at all. Let's move on to Jay Hernandez over here. I'm thinking definitely the most...
the most surprising character.
Absolutely, yeah.
But for a character who didn't really stand out in the trailers very much, I don't think he had much screen time in the trailers, he was, I mean, my God, the performance that Jay Hernandez gives, he brings a really emotional side to this character who's, I guess you could say, he's afraid of his powers, because he's the only character who has the superpowers.
Actually has the powers, I think in terms of not only these 5 here, so minusing these people, but the entire squad, I think he actually gives the best performance. It's the most realistic, it's the most...
Yeah, I'd agree with that.
Relatable, I think.
Very much so.
Ironically, because he's probably got the largest amount of power out of everyone as well. Yeah, absolutely fantastic.
He was brilliant. He was very, very good. Killer Croc was, I mean, he looked amazing. He looked amazing.
Yeah, let's say he looked great. Let's leave it at that. He looked great.
If that really is a prosthetic mask, props to the guy who did the makeup, because that was amazing. I mean, outside of that...
He got 7 or 8 lines, I think, as far as I remember. And I'm not really sure what they were trying to go for with it, because in some bits they were trying to make him act quite camp, in some bits
he really was,
make him quite...
For a guy who's a
gangster,
cannibal,
and it was very confusing.
Yeah.
Sort of what they were trying to do with him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The last member of the squad is Katana, who is Rick Flag's bodyguard. Again, she looked amazing. And the backstory this character is given is phenomenal. She's just not in it enough. She's just not given enough to work with.
Yeah, not given enough screen time, and that's a bit of a shame, I think. Again,
I think you could say the characters are very hit and miss. Some of them are outstanding, some of them are okay, and some of them aren't that great. As I said, we will do a spoiler video talking about going more into these characters. Okay.
Let's move on to music.
Oh my god! How many songs was it? There must have been at least. There must have been at least 30 songs.
So little time. That's what that was. It was just an absolute congregation of sound coming in at all angles from your ears, and that's the problem. It was a bit. You hear the first song and you think, oh, this is going to be such a good film, and then you hear the second song about 1 minute later and you're thinking to yourself, hang on a second, I haven't really brought myself into the film yet.
Exactly that. They use great music.
Again and again and again.
They really do use brilliant music. They use like classic rock music and like hip hop music usually it's to introduce the characters and things like that, but you just don't hear it enough. You hear maybe 10 seconds, if that.
Yeah, I think it's too much of a good thing, if you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, no, I know exactly
what
you mean, yeah.
Compared to some Marvel films, I'm going to go into it very quickly, I think they were trying to copy it and they didn't really utilise it in the way that Marvel has done in other films, or other films in general.
I don't think you can look at this film without comparing it to Marvel. This is very much DC's version of Guardians of the Galaxy. Both those series are kind of forgotten comic series from the 80s about a group of misfits who are put together against their will. In Guardians' case, they're the good guys. In this case, they're the bad guys. And Guardians certainly does use music in a better way than this film does, if you ask me, because you get to form an emotional attachment to the songs as the characters do.
Yes, and that strengthens the film even more. Whereas,
very much
contradicting to this film, I couldn't really relate the songs to the characters.
No.
They all had intro music and I couldn't remember.
It's just not on enough. That's what the problem is. It's just not on enough.
Yeah.
But going to the Marvel comparison here, so many fanboys are going to bash this film simply for being Marvel fanboys. I think we both want to make this clear now. We both love Marvel films. Okay?
I am a Marvel fanboy.
We do not have a problem with Marvel films at all. I think they're brilliant, great entertainment films. I mean, these films do use it differently to the way the Marvel films use comic book series. But I'll just say this. This film is solely focused on the villains. Yeah. Can the Marvel fanboys honestly tell me they want to see a Marvel film totally focused on the bad guys? With the exception of Loki and maybe Ultron.
Could you name 6 villains that you'd want together that you can remember from the other films?
I cannot. I go off the life of me. I just don't see how it would work. It would not. And also another thing, with the critics bashing this film really badly, I honestly believe if Marvel had released this, it would have been given a better critical write-up.
And that's a shame. I think in terms of what this film has actually done for the superhero and villain community, it's definitely enhanced it, because we are talking about villains working together rather than heroes. And it's such a twist on the norm. I think for what it is, it's definitely done a lot better for itself than I was expecting.
Exactly. For what this film is, it's great. Okay, this is not Citizen Kane. This is not Schindler's List. All right, this is entertainment. All right, it's a group of colourful, crazy characters coming together to entertain, and that's exactly what the film does. It's not designed to win an Oscar. Okay, this is not groundbreaking. It's a summer blockbuster. And for what it is, I absolutely loved it. It delivered everything I wanted it to and more. I could not promote and just tell you, go and see this.
Yeah, it is just designed to have fun, and it definitely delivers on having fun.
Absolutely.
If that's what you're looking for. If you're looking for a fun movie, go see this.
Very much recommend. very, very, very much recommend.
Okay, cool. Thanks for liking, commenting, and subscribing. We're going to make another film which talks about the spoilers.
Yes, we are going to do a spoiler video.
Please find the link below. And we'll see you guys.
Peace.